What up, it's your boy T-Bone the Reaction. So I'm about to do a continuation from Gulley Boy. And that last video I did with the old head being a problem from in hip hop as well too was a good little discussion to list off his little podcast talking as well too. We're gonna hook up with the follow up one. I originally want to do that first, but then found out that one was follow up to the other, so I had to do one before the other first. So this one is young. This one is called "The Young Generation Are a Problem in Hip Hop." So this is one I want to hear about as well too. I'm not sure it's because of is it because either their type of music or anything, or how they downplayed, because like I said, or how we got, like I said, there's a gender war going on, not just the old head downplaying the old head generation downplaying the new generation, but the young generation is like not respecting the older generation well too at the same time. So that's another thing. So either way, it's like an ongoing generation war which needs to stop in my opinion. But other than that, let's see what the follow up was of this, what the young generation of problem in hip hop is all about. Let's get it. It's what definitely be our thoughts and reaction, of course. So let's get it.
What is going on, guys? Your boy Gulley back at you with a brand new video. And I think this channel is about to become a commentary channel. You know, faster uploads, faster topics. Hey man, it is what it is, but skip all that. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, if you're watching this video, you already know that I uploaded a video before this called "Old Heads Are the Biggest Problem in Hip Hop." And I wanted to make this a follow-up video by stating that young heads are also a problem in hip hop, because it's a lot of stuff that the youngins do that I don't like as well. And the clip I'm gonna be reacting to today is Casanet reacting to Killer Mike winning a Grammy. I got quite a bit to say about this.
Oh,
right
I kind of heard
go
about
ahead
this.
and let the video play out, and then I'm gonna give my reaction.
Drake and 21 Savage.
Hey.
Killer Mike. Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
Nas.
Yeah.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
And the Grammy goes to Killer Mike. Michael.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Everybody calm the down. I don't know who this is, okay? Hey, brother. God bless you. Congratulations. Positivity you. Praying for you, bro. Positivity out the window. Who decided this motherfucker? Who the decided this
Not the Trey Rise music.
motherfucker? Carlos Utopia Metro Boomin! My nigga, let me tell you something, bro. I'm not jacking this, you are?
Drake.
Now, I don't know how long this video gonna be.
Alright, yeah. It's like a lot of people, and here's the thing, a lot of people love the fact that Killer Mike got it, because this is definitely going on the part of that generation war, and this is where the old head comes in as well too. This is at least now you can see that there are some stuff that getting play as well too. But Killer Mike's considered old school, but I guess the fact that somebody in the old school is getting the album is like finally with some good albums getting recognized as for the hip hop war instead of like the albums they don't like. So this is it's like good for them, but at the same time it's like what he's saying is like that's ridiculous. He's being ridiculous in my opinion. Like it's trying to explain this. The opposite, it's like almost as bad as with the old heads not giving the younger generation. This is like the younger generation being closed minded on the older generation as well too. Like what they contribute to hip hop. So yeah, so this is the generation where I speak of all time. Is like both sides are closed minded, and this is another example of the closed mind side of the younger folks as well too. So yeah.
But I do got a whole lot to say. Now when it comes to both the old heads and the young heads response to this particular clip right here of Killer Mike winning a Grammy, I am sort of in the middle ground when it comes to both sides, because I do understand what both sides are saying. With that being said, I'm going to share my opinion on the whole thing. And at the end of this, I would just want the old heads and the young heads to find a middle ground. And I want to be fair on both sides, because I know I'm about to say something that both sides are going to disagree with, and I
Yep.
understand why you disagree with it, but at the end of the day, it's still my opinion. Now, first of all, I want to say this. I did a video previously about how I feel like the young heads should know who Killer Mike is. Because if you are an avid listener of hip-hop, in my opinion, I feel like you should know about him being a part of one of the biggest hip-hop duos
Run
in
the
recent
Jewels.
time, which is Run the Jewels. And I would advise the young heads to actually check out Killer Mike's music. And I can also say that about the old heads as well. If there's something you don't understand about a particular new rapper, I would advise you to check them out and just
Hold on
see
a
what they're
second.
about.
Anyway, keep going.
I feel like you can honestly give an opinion
Facts.
once you actually listened to the music yourself. With Killer Mike winning his Grammy, I would advise the young heads to actually go check out his album, because it is something that I did and I actually like the album, and I do feel like that the album was Grammy worthy, because there are tracks on that album that tackle deep topics. There are tracks on that album that are tearjerkers, that have the ability to make you cry. He dedicated a song to his mom that passed away. He has a song on there where he uplifts like junkies and people who are at low points in their lives. And there are also tracks on that album that I feel like would appeal to the younger crowd, because I know the younger crowd, they like to get lit. And I feel like Killer Mike has songs on the album that can get you lit, like the intro track, Down by Law. The song on there that's produced by 3-6 Mafia is supremely fire, and I feel like it'll get the young dudes lit. So by me listening to the album, I feel like a young dude who has an open mind and is not going to go into it just hating off rip,
Right.
because I know that's what both sides like to do when it comes to listening
Yes, that's what it is. Now I said it before, like they're not giving folks chance. They're going there with us. They're dead set on hating. That's like they're dead set on disliking it as well too before they even give it a chance as well too. Whether if it's for a younger, not giving it, going to the old heads and they're gonna be sound all old and everything, not and sound like their demographic. Where the old heads still like they're gonna sound like the typical. How they say same tone, same verse, same flow, and all that as well too. Not know they can switch it up at times as well. Like not knowing that the youngins can switch up at time and go old school boom bap style as well too, or the youngins not knowing that the old head can get down with the trap or the current style as well too. And then and there's some older rappers that have got in there got there as well too, and plus some dope tracks that you can party at a young head party. Same with some tracks that some for the old heads that some youngins put that you can party at old head party at as well too. I mean, like I said, it's all about finding common ground. They need to do that.
Either styles of music. I was guilty of it at one point, just as off rip, just hating and just not even giving it a chance. I hear one line and I'm like, nah, I'm turning it off. No, man, actually sit
Don't do
down
that.
and listen to the album.
Don't do
and
that.
Take it all
Or the
in.
beat, or the
I
first
did the
beat.
same thing with Travis Scott's album, and I was able to give my review and my thoughts on that album as well. And upon listening to both albums, I will admit that Killer Mike's album was better. So with all this being said, I want to tell the young heads, just like I tell the old heads, give the OGs a chance. Actually understand where the OGs are coming from.
True.
And because Castanet, I think he said it in another clip. He said it in this clip, actually, that he's never heard of Killer Mike and he's never listened to him. I would advise you to listen to Killer Mike, just like I would advise the old heads to check out all the new rappers too.
True.
Not all of them, but some of them, so you can get an idea and understand it. And this is just to people who are not closed-minded. I'm talking to people who are open-minded and and don't have a problem with giving stuff a chance and then giving their honest opinion afterwards. So that's the middle ground that I'm talking about. Now, another thing that I wanted to get into is my video on Killer Mike where I talked about the artist Black Thought. And here's where I feel like the old heads are about to disagree with me. But I'm about to explain myself vividly here. In that video, I said I would understand if the young cats didn't know who Black Thought was versus them knowing Killer Mike and Killer Mike's album. because just by me being an avid listener of hip hop, I hear about the Killer Mike album through hip hop media sources. I was hearing that the Killer Mike album was good months ago. I was hearing a whole bunch of people talk about how great the album is.
Everybody saw my on Facebook
how
as
the
well
album
too.
is Grammy worthy. I was hearing stuff like that. Versus Black Thought. I don't think I've ever heard a Black Thought album where people was like, oh, this is finna win some Grammys.
True.
I don't even remember hearing people talking about a Black Thought album. Now, notice I'm saying Black Thought and not The Roots. And this goes back to my overall point. If you're an avid listener of hip-hop, I feel like you're more
Although
likely...
Black Thought had a dope album with Danger Mouse, but at the same time, you had to hear about it. But you had to hear about that. You had to go search for hear about that. What happened? It pops up on your title, your Spotify, or something like that. Or it wasn't as word of mouth as the Killer Mike album. That's the thing about it, though, too. So yeah, that's why I say I get what he means right here as well, too. Like that's why it's like it wasn't a diss to Will I Am. It was like more so like not Will I Am. So I got finished watching. Black Thought. I just got finished watching the DJ Premier video, BEP, about him doing the BEP Empire for Black Eyed Peas, I Am them. But at the same time, I was gonna say about Black Thought. That joint he had with Danger Mouse, the dope albums, by the way. It just didn't get it wasn't say it's Grammy quality caliber as the Killer Mike album. Like that was like a straight the Danger Mouse and Black Thought and Danger Mouse album was like a boom bap hip hop as well too. Like when for like folks that's into that or mainly the old heads, where like I said, the Killer Mike can be universal in my opinion. It was a universal album.
To know about Killer Mike than Black Thought. This is what I was saying in my video because a lot of people was getting it confused, and I think I explained it well here, but I'm gonna go into even more detail with my explanation. I'm gonna go ahead and hit y'all with a quick story time right quick. Now, my sophomore year in high school, this was my very first year being in the ROTC program, so I was basically new to the program. While I was in the program, my sergeant major, her name was Sergeant Willis. I was basically like a teacher's pet, but in a good way, in a ROTC kind of way. Basically, I went to the events, participated in marching in the parades. I was always, getting good grades within the program, kept my uniform intact, and I was a part of, we had sections in our ROTC program, and I was a part of the Alpha Squad. And I think like in the middle of the year, we had what we considered our prom, which was the military ball. And within this military ball, we had our version of prom queen and prom king. So for our military ball, it was like, who's the king of Alpha team? Who was the king of Bravo team? Since I was an Alpha team and I was my sergeant major's favorite, she wanted me to be King Alpha. Now, the crazy thing about this is that they let the students vote who would be king and queen of each branch. So I wasn't a popular kid, even though I was a good kid, even though I was Sergeant Willis's favorite, I wasn't popular. And this is going to go into my overall point later on. So since I wasn't popular, I lost to a dude named, he was my homeboy, and he was popular and kids knew who he was. His name was Cortez, basically. He was a popular dude. He knew everybody. Everybody voted for him. When it came down to people seeing who was nominated for King Alpha, they was like, who is this guy? We know him, but we don't know him. And me being a person I am, even at the time, I understood that. I literally understood it. And I was just like, this makes sense. The kids are going to vote for whoever's popular, and they're not going to even think about the person that's not popular, which, again, like I said, it made sense. But my sergeant major was not having that. One day I was in class. She literally walked up to me and said, I don't care if he won. You're going to be King Alpha. She literally said that to me. And I even tried to tell her that I don't want to be King Alpha. I don't have a problem with, coming to the military ball and I'm somebody in the audience. But she was just like, no. She felt like I deserved it, I worked for it, and all of that stuff. But like I said, even me being the person I am, I didn't care, because I'm somebody who's always said that I don't need to be crowned or I don't need a trophy to basically let me know that I'm a hard worker or that I'm doing the right thing. I don't need awards for that. Like, I commend myself on that. you know.
Right.
And I felt like that whole King Alpha was a popularity contest.
Pretty much.
Which, again,
that's many things in high school.
understood that. Long story short, I was King Alpha. She wasn't going for it. She was just like, this is not going to happen. She said, no, it's going to be you. And that was basically the story time. Now, the reason I say all that is to bring it back to the Grammys. Now, the reason I say this is to say that popularity is important when it comes to hip-hop. Popularity is important. And I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that, but it is true. And I understand it. With that being said, I feel like Black Thought shouldn't have been a part of the popularity contest. Now, I know some of y'all might say, well, that's you contradicting yourself, because why are you saying Killer Mike deserved to be? Because just like I said before, there are a lot of people that know who Killer Mike is versus Black Thought. And I can't be upset if the young heads don't know who Black Thought is. Here's another example. And here's how you can tell that I'm not biased, even though people are going to say that I'm biased anyway. My top 3 favorite rappers are not mainstream rappers. My top 3 favorite rappers of all time has never changed. Number 1 is Esham. Number 2 is Kool Keith. And number 3 is K Reno. Those are my top 3 favorite rappers of all time. Now, if any, let's just throw this scenario out here. Let's just say 1 year Esham gets nominated for a Grammy. I am literally gonna be like, how the hell did that happen? And I can't be upset if a lot of people, old heads and new heads, don't know who Esham is. I ain't gonna be mad. And you know what's even more crazy? I feel like Esham is more legendary than Black Thought. That can be a whole nother conversation, but I feel like
he actually is. To be honest, he actually is. To be honest, like if you knew about this out, if you follow Esham, he's actually is. To be honest, I mean, I haven't followed him heavy, but from what I heard and listened to, and from what I know, how long he's been out for a while, he's more legendary than Black Thought, in my opinion.
Esham influenced a whole lot of stuff more than Black Thought.
Yeah, facts. He's the one that is part of the influence of the underrated. I think he actually has a. I don't know. I think he has a video about as well too. But yeah, I think he has a video about it. Talking about Gulley boy, about the Houston. One of their forefathers of the front runners of the underground, or say subtool, we're gonna call it subgenre hip hop called hardcore hip hop. He's part of it. He's influenced for the likes of the Saint Clown Posse and the Twizzlers and everything, and what's they call it? Jugglers. He's the juggler hip hop. He's like the influence of that.
Did. Now, with Esham being more influential than Black Thought, in my opinion, and the majority of people still won't know who he is. And I even understand that he shouldn't be nominated for a Grammy because he's not popular. So there is no way anybody can say that I'm biased. You can't. Because just like I said, Esham is my favorite rapper of all time. Even I would understand, just like I told the story about me being in ROTC, I understand why I'm not winning. Because I'm not popular. So, this is basically the end of the video. Hopefully, I didn't ramble, and hopefully I made sense, because I am freestyling.
This is definitely was shorter than the last one.
Styling this video, and I did have to stop at a lot of points and go back and listen to what I was saying, so hopefully it all came together nicely. And the last thing I'm going to say about the younger crowd is that pay attention to how you're reacting to stuff now. A lot of y'all young dudes act like y'all ain't going to get old. Do you really want to act like Joe Budden when you're old? Let's just say that you get older and now you listening to the new music that's out. Are you going to be this person that's going to be like, man, ain't nobody rapping like how Playboy Cardi used to rap and some BS.
Exactly.
Like, get this out of here, man.
Exactly.
These dudes don't sound like Travis. This is trash. I honestly think most of y'all young dudes going to be like that when y'all get older. That's going to
go ahead.
Be crazy. Because just like you have that section of old heads that's hating on the new stuff, I feel like there's going to be a large majority of y'all that's going to be hating on the new stuff that's going to come out when you get older.
Exactly.
And with that being said, bro, boom shakalaka wham bam. That shit was deep right there. But I'm going to see y'all on the next video.
He said, boy, I said it all the time. It's an ongoing cycle. Like, that's why I embrace the newer era hip hop as well too. I don't want to be part of that ongoing cycle of hating on stuff that's younger than me. Like that's like, it's like you're not giving. Because in my opinion, it might be ridiculous not going that route for not going that route, but at the same time, it's like it's discouraging in my opinion. It's very discouraging. Like it's very discouraging to the new generation. It is. You may not realize it, you may not think it, but it's low key discouraging. You know what I'm saying? It was discouraging then, and pop, the hip hop still what it is right now. It was still this, but to be honest, it was discouraging then when old head was down playing hip hop because they was too stuck in their old ways as well too. And they got the old heads doing the same thing right now. And then that forced the younger generation to not like the old one. Because I'll be honest, I was at one point didn't like older music because I was trying fit in and all as well too. But at the same time, it was like a rebellion against the older crowd, older folks for shitting on them. So if you don't want the generational war to keep happening, the old heads and like I said, old heads and younger generation, older generation and younger generation gotta find some common ground. You know what I'm saying? They really do. They got to find common ground on music. You know what I'm saying? They cannot hate on each other, man. It's got to stop. You know what I'm saying? If you want them to respect each other, you want respect from each other, you got to respect their music. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Don't go into either side with intent or hating. That's all. Gulley made a great point right there, though, too. I mean, the reason why I was like, say, I follow him musically because he was talking about like the old school hit, like the hitting disc songs or anything. But these videos, man, I like out of the videos that talk about like the current state of hip hop and all that as well too. I kind of like his better. I mean, I like his video better. Can't wait to see what we talk about with the sexy red stuff though, but still, I can't wait to hear it. But I like both videos. I like his approach to it as well too. Other than that, it's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.